Now what I want to show you is how the EZCall wristband play calling system can take a playbook that is 50, 100, whatever your playbook may be, pages long, that a player must memorize, and put it all into a wristband that the player would wear during a game on their wrist or on their belt, and allow them to know everything that's in your book that's specific to them, and put it on a simple wristband that allows them during the game, allows them during the game to know their job on every single play without question, no memorization needed, and allows them the confidence and the freedom to execute the play, because it's just like you standing behind them whispering what the play is and what their assignment is at each snap of the ball, with each snap of the ball. Your play band is going to have window 1, window 2, window 3. All the player has to do is be able to locate a color and know how to count and read, and they can execute your entire offense without mistakes, with confidence. So let's go over to the computer and take a look at what the software looks like and how to operate the program. Okay, now I'd like to take you through the EZCall software program. So first thing I want to do is pull up the icon right here that has EZCall on it. And as you'll notice, it's just an Excel spreadsheet, which is actually great because most of your computers, tablets, and things will have compatibility with this program. So that's one thing I like about it, is it's done in an Excel format. So we'll double click on that. Now I want to show you a couple things here on this this screen here. The first thing I want to talk to you about is down below here, the tab sheet down here and below. Is you'll notice that we'll start right here at the very bottom. It says master. The next one is quarterback. Now I've labeled these for my positions. You can actually right click on any of these, and I'll do that right. Actually, I'm sorry. We're going to click on the bottom. I might have to fall here. Hold on a second here. Okay. We're going to right click on any of these tabs, and where it says rename, if you simply click on that, you can put in any letters that represent your players. And if you wanted to call your back a different letter than what we are, or you can change it. So you can change any of these tabs to anything you like. I have quarterback, F, that's our back, H back, X, wide receiver, Y, it's our split, our tight end, Z, and then our center, call sheet, and then our play bank. Okay, so those are the tabs on the bottom that comes with the program. So if I click on, we'll start here on the master. Well, actually, let's click over here on the play bank. Now, as I clicked on the play bank, as you see, the cells come up just like a regular Excel spreadsheet. We have our columns, and at the top here, you can see columns are listed, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, just like your normal. If you're familiar with any type of spreadsheet or Excel, working with Excel, this is all familiar with you. But the very top, these are your columns. Then you can see here in row 1, I've actually have on the master here, you'll see play name, quarterback, and then you'll have the letters that are the same as the ones on the bottom. So if your first one is QB, then your letter here will be QB. So as you can see, these all are the same as the bottom tabs. Now, when you get your play bank, or when you pull this up, yours will not have anything in the cells. Each one of these individual things here are called cells. There will be nothing in them. Okay, and what you're going to do, and this is, and we won't do this right now, but this is the most laborious part of the whole thing. You're basically going to put in words what your playbook shows in pictures, meaning that you're going to type the name. For example, if I'll give you a very simple play here. If the play 1 here in our play bank was going to be a trap, or 21 trap, then I would type in the 21 trap, as I just did, and then I would go through and I would fill in what each one of these positions' specific jobs would be. So for the quarterback, I would put the play call, 21 trap, and then for the F, that would be our 3-back actually. So let's say we want to run a 2-back. Our offense was a 2-back option fake with our F, and we're going to hand it off to our 2-back for the trap. So here, I would type in option fake right. Okay, and I might abbreviate that. You can put whatever you like as long as it fits in the cell. You might just put OPT, fake right, whatever you want to put in there. And then H is our two back, so he would be running the trap. So we would put 21 trap, meaning that he knows he's the two back and he's running a trap through the one hole. Okay, over here on X, whatever you want them to block man on, you would just type in each one of these cells the job of that particular player. Our center, we would put trap right, or we might put 21, if I can type, 21 trap. Whatever it is there for the center's job. So now, when we're done with this play here, we have 21 trap. The quarterback's wristband would say 21 trap. We have option fake right, 21 trap. Stock, well, let's put block OLB. Okay. Again, this would be specific to your assignments. MOB means man on block for us, but let's just say block force. Okay. Or that could be block outside linebacker. You might say block outside linebacker out. I'll show you when we actually get into specific details how I like to do that. I think you will find it beneficial on how we tag our blocking assignments with our receivers. It's a very simple way to do it. But over here, stock number 2, we count number 2 as the outside linebacker, so or the safety. Let's just say we're going to block free safety. Okay, so that would be play number 1. Now, we would go through this entire play bank and do our entire playbook. So the next play would be, as you see here, we see 11 red. Yours might be 22 trap. It might be 22 power, 24 power. Whatever your play is going to go right here, down here on this tab in the play bank. And you want to be very accurate here. You want to make sure you type in the assignment of every person, every player and what they're doing. Okay, so once your play bank would be done, you'd be ready to start filling in your play call sheets and your specific player specific cells and working the program with how it is designed to be worked, which is we'd go over to the master call list. Okay, so as you look over to the master call list, you see the same things up here: quarterback, F, H, X, Y, and Z. What you're going to do is you're going to go over back to the play bank, and you're going to pull the play you want to install in your master call list. The master call list, again, is the call list that will make the actual wristbands. It's the plays you want to run in a game or for the season. You can add plays, take plays away on any given week, but it is what you put into the master, as I clicked on it here, will be what the play bands will be comprised of. It's what will actually be printed on the play bands. Okay. Now, before we get into actually installing a play, I just want to kind of give you a little bit more of a rundown of the landscape of this thing. So if you look on the master, again, up top, you see play name, quarterback, F, H, X, Y, Z, center. And if you wanted to add columns, you definitely could do that. Or if you didn't want, we only have our center wear a band. If you wanted all of your O-line to wear a band, you could rename that as the O-line, and every single O-lineman then would have that band once it's printed. But that's the landscape of this. Let me reduce this a little bit so we can see it on one shot. Okay, following the tab. Well, actually, let me scroll down. So as you scroll down on this, you'll see that things start to change colors. Okay? And I'll explain that in just a second. And there's actually some writing that's been left over here on this one. But you'll see they'll start to change colors, and that's very important. Okay, so let's make our way over here to the quarterback band. As we click on the quarterback band, you'll notice that the quarterback band actually starts to look like a wristband now. It actually starts to look like a play window. So up top here, you'll see it says Q in the top left corner right here. That's to indicate that this play script or this band is for the quarterback. Okay, we have on this particular one, we have 2 windows. Okay, and then on this window right here, and yours will come with 3 windows. For time's sake, we'll just talk about 2 right now. But this one right here, you'll notice that there are columns, and each one of these columns have a different color to them. Look back here at the next list here. They have a different column as well. They also have rows, and the rows are 1 through 20 on band number 1. On this band number 2, it's 1 through 19, and you can adjust those, and we'll show you how to do that in a later part of this tutorial. But you can adjust those based on the size of the window that you'll be using in your wristband. If you click on the bottom here, and I'll go over in more detail what these words are and the colors in just a minute, but If you click on the F, there you see theirs as well. Same thing. And up here in the left corner, it's going to say F. But that's that position. Okay, H. Now, for whatever reason, you'll see that this one here is the H is missing. So simply I'll click on that and type, actually click in the right box and type it in. And then we're good to go on that. But that is right here is the H. This is X, so Y. So each one of these that I'm clicking on will be filled in with that player's specific assignment on each play. Okay, so once you fill in your the master sheet here, it'll fill in automatically. You won't have to do it. It'll automatically fill in each position's play specific assignment to insert in that player's wristband. Okay, and so that's what's one of the beautiful things about this program is once you have your play bank, you just fill in the master sheet here and everything else is automatically inserted and done for you. Okay, one of the key important things that this program allows you to do, and one of the benefits, and I think what separates it from other programs, is the fact that, and I talked about this in our previous session, is that we can eliminate verbiage, we can eliminate doubt, we can eliminate mistakes based on this program and what the information that your player is going to receive. Now, as you look here, we have different colors, and there's some things I actually put a play in here just for just to show you, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But this would be blank right here, and you can simply just take that right here and hit delete or change it. But if you hit delete, it just takes it out, no problem. But basically, if you look at this, there are different colors. We start with white, and then it goes red, and then it goes yellow, and then it goes green, and then it goes brown, black or gray, blue, and you can add as many colors as you want to however you like. Now, for us, and for you, when you use this system, what you're going to do is you're going to identify your formations as colors. Okay? Now your formations would be colors. So, for example, white for us is 2 by 2. That's 10 personnel, no tight end in the game, or down tight end, one back in a 2 by 2 formation. This is adaptable to any offense because you're going to determine what colors represent your formation. So if you were in Pro I and you wanted that to be white, then anything we put in the white column would be run out of that formation. If you wanted your red to be a flex tight end or a tight end wing or an empty set or whatever formation, then any play that we put into this area right here would be run out of that formation. And you can see, obviously, you can add as many as you want, any formations. So as you put a play into the master column, you're going to insert the play into the color which represents a formation for you that you want to run that play in. For example, if I want to run an inside zone out of our 3 by 1 for us, that would be yellow. Okay, and so what I would do is I would go into my play bank down here. I would pull the play out by highlighting it. I would then go back to the master list. I would insert it and paste it right into this area in the master sheet. You can also actually type right on the master sheet. For example, if I said 21 trap, quarterback, 21 trap, I said the F, fake OP, that's option left, H, we can say 1 trap or 21 trap, letting him know he's the 2 back, he's trapping right. This is going to block OLB, and you can see how that works. So I've typed that in there on the yellow. That means we're going to run that play. Our kids know that yellow is trips formation. Yellow would represent any formation that you would want. Now, if you'll notice, if I click down here to the quarterback and we go down to yellow 1, it says 21 trap. If I go to F, fake option left. If I go to H, 21 trap. If I go to X, block outside linebacker. So it has automatically filled in under the trips column. You can see I've labeled that trips. I've also put a name Steeler up there because when I'm calling a play in, I can either call it Yellow 1, Steeler 1, and you can add by just simply clicking on these boxes anything you would want to call it. But we're going to identify this column by the color, yellow, or by its code word, which would be Steeler for us. Okay, so you can see as I clicked in that play in the yellow box, under yellow 1, here's number 1 right here on the left-hand side, under yellow 1, it automatically filled in each position's job. Okay, now the same thing would happen if I would have went to the play bank, highlighted 21 trap, went back to the master list, and pasted it in there. The same exact thing would happen. Okay, another thing we talked about was that this program eliminates procedure calls, and the reason that it eliminates procedure calls is because it identifies the snap count. Well, how it identifies the snap count is that you assign, as a coach, these colors with a snap count that you'll practice all year long. For example, you might say white is going to be on 1, red is going to be on 2, yellow is going to be on 2, and the rest are going to be on 1. Whatever it may be, you're going to assign a snap count to each one of these colors so that when you're in the game and you've practiced this the entire week in practice, anytime that you're in a certain formation, or anytime you call a certain color out, the ball is going to be snapped on the specific designated snap count that you've worked on all week. That's a tremendous benefit in several ways. Number one is you are controlling the snap count in a way that is consistent. Number two is you're allowing your players to practice all week getting off the ball with tremendous speed because they're familiar with the snap count. And number three is that you are allowing you're not allowing the defense to key in on specific snap counts. You're not always going on 1 per se. You're not always going on 2. You're actually mixing it up in something you've rehearsed and practiced. So by calling, for example, by filling in the yellow column number 1 in 21 trap, we can go over here to our tight end, our Y, and we want to say block free safety or strong safety. And let's say Z, we want to block cornerback. And then we want our center, we're going to go 21 trap. Or we can say trap left, or you can say however you want here. We filled this completely in. We're going to say this is our 3x1, our trips formation. We're going to designate that all year long, that, or at least for this week, but for us it'd be all year long, that the trips formation is going to be run on sound, or going to be run, let's say it's run on 1. Then we know right now by calling yellow 1 or Steeler 1, that's all we'd have to call. Your play is now called. The players know exactly what they're doing. The play has been given to the quarterback either through a sign or usually just verbally, and you've done it. You've eliminated all verbiage, anything that would be lengthy in description. You have eliminated by saying yellow 1. Now the players are going to have a wristband. The wristband, and we'll go over the wristband in detail with you in just a minute and show you the picture of that. The wristband, the player then would look at yellow 1. He would look at the yellow column on play 1. He knows that it's trips, so he knows where to line up because you would teach anybody in their position where to line up in a specific formation. He knows he's lining up in his trips formation because we've designated yellow as trips. He knows that he's looking at cell 1 because we told him it's 1. And if I'm the F, I know I'm lining up in that proper formation and I'm faking option left. I know my specific assignment and I know it's on 1 because we've designated the color yellow as the 1 for snap count. So by saying yellow 1 as a coach, every single player knows exactly their job. We know what formation we're in and we know the snap count just by saying yellow 1. Now if we go back here and look at the actual master list, whenever you fill in any of these cells, it's going to automatically, I know I've said this before, I just want to reiterate this, it's going to automatically fill in your player cells. It's also going to fill in over here the call sheet. Now all of these are empty because we have not filled in our master sheet is empty except for on play, which we just did, yellow 1. So if you go to the call sheet, you'll notice that yellow 1 has already filled in 21 trap. So this will print out, and we'll show you an example of this as well. This will print out as an 8.5-inch regular paper, and you will have you will call your plays from this sheet. Now you can be more specific in preparing your play call sheet for game day or even practice, and there's several ways to do that, and we'll go over that as well. But this will automatically fill in the 8.5-inch by 11 call sheet for practice, for games, so that when you look down at your call sheet and you want to run trips, and you look down and you find you want to run 21 trap, you look down and you see yellow 1, and that's the play call you would make. So this is automatically being filled in by just filling in the play on your master form. So let's go over here to the play bank. Let's take, for example, 24 power. You can see this is right here for me. I'm going to take 24 power out of my play bank. I'm going to highlight it. Again, these are just examples. This is not a real descriptive play bank or even that accurate, but it'll work for right now. We're going to hit copy. I right-clicked on your mouse, right-click, and then I hit copy. I'm going to go back to master, and I'm going to decide what formation or multiple formations I want to run this play. So let's say that we deem that we want to run it out of green, and let's say that green is a pro I for us. I'm just going to click on play 1, right click, paste, and it automatically goes into that play call sheet. Now, as you notice, when I cut and pasted it out of a white play bank, it stayed white there. If I type it in there, it stays green, but it's white. So then what I'll do is highlighted already, and I'll do this after I'm done with all of it. But I'll go up to the actual theme colors, and I'll make sure that we change the color. And I know I didn't get that exactly the correct green, but now you see that I've put that in there from Playbank. I've pasted that in there. I can do that in brown as well. I can go over, let's say we want to run this out of brown formation, whatever your brown formation would be, but I want to run it out of that formation. I'm going to hit, come down here, and I'm going to, I think because I did the color, I'm going to have to copy it because I was messing around with the color. Go back to master. Now, put it right there. I'm going to paste it. Boom, there it is. And then I'm going to go up. I don't know why didn't that? There it is. I'm going to go up to here and just make sure that I color that cell brown. There we go. And now, we've just installed 21 or 24 power into two formations. So when we go over here to the quarterback, you'll go down here. Actually, it was 24 lead, my fault. But you'll look down here in green 1. You'll see 24 lead. 24 lead in brown. If you go over here to F, it tells him that he's kicking out the D end on that particular play. And then over here it has the play as well. Okay, so back to the original overview. When you first pull up your Excel software, your screen is going to come up. Everything will be blank. We've typed something in, and your playbank will be blank as well. First thing you're going to do is click on your playbank and fill in the cells based on your plays, your offense, into each cell is player-specific assignments. You're going to give a verbal representation of your playbook on this page. That's the first thing. The next thing you're going to do is take the plays, take them over to the master list, and insert them into the master list, just like I showed you, and automatically all of your other players' wristbands will be filled with their player-specific assignments. Your call sheet will also be being filled at the same time. So what I want to do is I want to open up the EZCall program, and I want to take us through the steps of actually inserting a play to each position, each player. As you can see, when you get your software, this will be empty. But what you're going to do is you're going to fill in your plays that you have in your offense under the play name, and then you're going to fill in the actual assignment for each one of your players. So we'll go up here and we'll insert a play that we run, which is inside zone. So I'm going to put down 32 Izzy. For me, in our offense, that's our inside zone. You might just put in inside zone. Whatever you want to put for your play. We'll just leave it there. Okay, inside zone. Okay, so our quarterback, the way we do our quarterback wristband is we actually make it a mirror of the play calls, because the quarterback is the one position that has to know basically the entire offense as compared to your skilled positions that'll know just their assignment. The quarterback needs to know the entire play in case there's motion and the things he's going to do. You could be very specific with the quarterback and say hand off to the F to the left, but there are certain nuances and things that they need to know in the play, and quarterbacks are used to that anyway. So I'm just going to type in 32 in zone. So that would be an abbreviation for 32 inside zone. Now our 3-back is our F, so he's going to run. I can say zone to the left, or excuse me, zone to the right. We've got 32. Or you could put the play 32, but zone right. Lets him know that he's running zone to the right. Our H would be the back and the slot receiver to the left, and we want him to block the safety, and we would label the safety as number 3. So we would BLK, that stands for block 3. And he knows in our offense that means that he has the high safety on his side, and he's blocking that defender. The X is going to be block 1. He has the corner. Y is tied in to the play side, is going to block OLB. Now I'm going to show you later on some ways we actually change the blocking in our cells, and it's a way that you may like to also use. But for right now, we'll just say block outside linebacker, and with the Z we're going to put, and we can. And you notice here I abbreviated BLK. You can put whatever you want. Block. I like to use abbreviations, but for this tutorial, I'll show you a few ways we've done it. So we'll use the abbreviation there. Block 1, meaning that he's going to block the cornerback. We label those guys. Okay, the center. We're going to type in zone right. Simple for him. He doesn't care who's getting the ball. We could run zone with our quarterback. We could run it with a 2-back. We could run it with a 3. He just needs to know that we're running zone to the right. Now, for us, in our offense, the way I found it works the best is we have our center quickly call the play to the lineman real quick, about a yard from the ball. We're a no-huddle team. They just quickly go to the center. He tells them what to do. You could change this up here instead of center. You could change this to OL, and you could actually print one of the OL bands out for every single one of your linemen. Then they would just look just like all the rest of the players and know that it's zone right. That's completely up to you. I'm going to change it back to center. But as you can see, it's very, it's easy to change it and easy to use it the way you feel best for your program. So that's our play bank. And now you would continue to fill in this play bank, and we'll do one more. We'll do 91 quick. That's a quick passing for us. So 91 quick. Quarterback, we're going to say that 91 quick. Again, you can abbreviate that however you want. So, or you can just write 91 quick. It certainly fits on the band. So our F, he's going to be in pass protection. In our 91 quick scheme, we use what we call 40 protection. So I'm going to put on his wristband 40 pro. He knows in that play he's going to have 40 pro. H is going to run a stick route. X is going to run a vertical. Y is going to run a stick. And Z is going to run a vertical. And the center is going to call 40 pro. Okay, so now now you can see that really takes literally, I don't know, maybe a minute per play at the most. So if you have 100 plays, you would have to spend a total amount of time, an hour and a half or hour and 45 minutes. That's if you had 100 plays. If you had 25 plays, 30 plays, Obviously, you're going to spend less than 30 minutes, 40 minutes constructing your play bank. You can always add to your play bank, because a play bank is just that. It's just banking your plays. It's not going to be inserting anything into your wristbands. You can change it, move it, add to it, delete, whatever you want. Your play bank is just kind of the area where you fill out your cells, and you're able to come back and get those anytime. So we're going to then go to the master list. As you can see, the master list right here is empty, and we want to start filling in plays. Our white formation is our 2x2, so let's say I want to run the 91 quick. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to left click on the 91 quick, highlight all of those plays, right click, copy them, okay, go back to the master and insert that anywhere you would like to on that call sheet. I'll go ahead and put it in 1. So I'm going to put it here, click on the first, hit paste, boom. Now that has been inserted. Now that it's on your master, 91 quick is on your master, that now has filled in all of the quarterback's band, the F, the H, the X, the Y, the Z. It has filled in all of those bands. So if we click down here in the bottom on white 1, we will see 91 quick for our quarterback. We will see 40 pro for our F. We will see stick route for our H. We will see vertical route for our Y. We will see vertical route for our Z. And then if we click on the center, it's going to have 40 pro, and there it is, 40 pro. Our call sheet will be filled in with 91 quick on white 1. So in the game, if we were to call white 1 as a play call, our players would know. They would know that our white formation is 2x2. They would know exactly where to line up. They would also know the snap count. The default way that we, with this system, call our snap count or identify our snap count is we say that black and white are on 1. Everything else is on 2. However, with the snap count, you can practice your snap count any way you'd like. You can install your snap count any way you'd like. We have just found, however, if we don't practice it through the week and we don't make it constant, that we make mistakes. So we don't want to make mistakes. We want to make sure we're getting off the ball quick and not having to worry about procedure calls. So we practice with black and white being on 1 and everything else on 2, and that could change any way we want on a given year, but that's kind of the default. But if you call white 1, you will see that in our call sheet, 91 quick is the call. If we go to quarterback, he would look down at white 1. Well, here's the white column. Here's play 1. 91 quick is the call. He knows it. He doesn't have to tell the rest of the team, though, unlike a lot of wristband systems where the quarterback now would have to relay that play call to the rest of the team. The rest of the team would be getting their assignment at the same time the quarterback would be looking at his band and getting the assignment as well. So our back would look at his white 1 on his wristband, would say, again, this would be the window right on his wristband, it would say 40 pro, meaning 40 protection. He knows what he's doing in 40 protection. H looks down and he knows he has a stick route, so he's going to line up in our white formation. He's going to line up, he's going to know the plays on 1, and he's going to run a stick route. X is going to run a vertical route on 1 in that same formation, and you can kind of see how that goes. Y is going to run a stick route. Z is going to run a vertical route, and the center is going to run 40 pro. So play 1 is installed in the master. Now, you may want to run this play in different formations. And if the formation didn't call for an assignment change, you could simply scroll down to the other colors which represented your formations and insert that play. If the play did call for an assignment adjustment, meaning that, for example, in some formations, maybe your outside guy isn't Z, thus he wouldn't have the vertical route, then you would go back to your play bank and go down and actually make that change on your play bank and then highlight that. For example, if I want to, I'll paste that. So now we have 291 quicks. However, this one is going to be out of our 3x1, so in my play bank, I will then change that color to yellow. And then I will go over here and change the Z to a stick and the Y to a vertical, because in that formation they have switched positions on the field, meaning the routes would switch because the Y would be outside, the Z would be inside. and now I have that as well. So if I wanted to install this play in our Y in my master, I would highlight it, copy it, go to the master, scroll down to the trips 3x1 formation, install it on play 3, paste, boom, done. Right there. Go back to the quarterback, and you can see on yellow 3, 91 quick. On F, 40 pro. On H, stick. Y would be a vertical because that was different than here. Because remember, on this formation, I said they changed positions. And the Y is stick, center, 40 pro. So we've just inserted that play from our play bank and added the color to it. And you would do that with any other color. If you wanted to run this out of your tight end sets, then you would paste it, go up to the color, change it to blue if that was your tight end set, and it would be saved there under 91 quick and blue, and you would make the proper adjustments in this area here. Last thing I'm going to show you now is we're going to insert 32 zone. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to highlight it, right click, copy, go to the master list. I want to run inside zone out of our brown formation. So I'm going to I'm going to go white because I didn't change it on the play bank color. So we'll go up here and put it on play 10 on white. And we have inside zone, and it's in. So if you were to click on all of these, you would notice quarterback 32 inside zone, zone right for the F, block 3 for the X, or H, block 1 for the X, block outside linebacker for the Y. Okay, so if I want to put that into a different color, so I'm going to put it, I'm going to go up here to 32 zone. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to highlight it. And then I'm going to go up here and I want to put it in my brown formation. So I'm going to change that to brown. And now because brown, the H is not outside, he's inside. He's lined up as a fullback in our brown formation. He's going to block the outside linebacker. I'm going to change that. And again, these are just examples. You can change them however you would like. I'll change that to OLB. Okay. Then I'm going to highlight the brown. Actually, I got 2 there, so I'm going to do that again. Highlight the brown. Right click. Copy. Master. Brown. Play, we'll go with play 13. Don't know why, just random. And put it in there. Now, if you wanted to change that print to white, thought it was more visible because it's a brown background, we would highlight, go up here to where the letter A is, choose white, and there you go. Now we just change the print into white. So that's how you install a play. You start off in your play bank, and then one thing also, once your play bank is full, and if you've added plays like 32 zone and you've added it into different areas, but you want to consolidate all your 32 zones, all you have to do then is go ahead and sort it. So you would start on the right, highlight all of the plays, and of course you'd highlight all of the ones you have put into the play bank. Go to sort over here on the right, go A to Z, and it's going to sort everything together. So now it just put my zones together, put my quicks together, and that way when I install them into my actual master sheet, I don't have to go searching for them. All of the inside zones are there. So that's how we're going to complete a play bank. Remember, your play bank is not attached to any of the other cells, so you can add, delete, take away, make changes here anytime you would like without affecting your play bands. Once you've got it the way you want, you're then going to highlight the play you want, click onto the master, insert the play into the formation you would like, and automatically your bands are going to start to fill up by formation, by play, and eventually, and we'll show you this on the next segment, once your bands are full, you will then print your bands off, place them in, print your play cards off, insert them into the wristbands, and you're ready for your game. It's that easy. Okay, now what I want to show you is a completed master cell form. We've taken the play bank, as we showed you before, and we filled in, and this is just a demo, so don't worry about all the things that are in here. Actually, just this would be filled with your plays and your information that we talked about earlier. Once the play bank is full, you've now copied the plays from the play bank that you want to use for that week or for the season, depending on how often you want to change your wristbands.
and you've filled in the master form, and you've put the plays in your formation. So you see here that we have plays in the white, which is a formation, plays in the red, which is a formation, yellow, green, brown, black, and so forth. So all of our formations are full of plays now from our play banks. And so what we want to talk about now is how to actually print the bands. Okay, so as we look down here on the bottom, we do not want to print the master. You can print the master if you wanted a sheet that showed every single assignment for every player for a coach, but normally we would just leave the master and not print that. Click on the next tab. For us, it would be quarterback. Your tab may be whatever you have put there. But we're going to go to the quarterback, and then we're going to go up to the file, and we are going to hit print. And now you'll see on the right-hand side there actual representation of the actual paper. I will copy as many quarterback bands at one time as I need to. So if we had 5 quarterbacks, I would copy 5. And we'd hit print. And then I would also have a couple spares right there. So I would add 2 more to that, 7, and I would hit print. So you can copy as many and print as many as you want. And it'll print out. And then once we're done with that, okay, if I hit print on that, go back. Oh, crap. I got to open this back up. Okay, so if we go back to our original sheet, go to F, File, Print, as many, and you'll see again, and it says F wristband. And that will be whatever you deem that wristband in the tab. And we'll talk about how to change those names in just a second. So printing these, you're going to print over here as many copies as you want printed out for that week. We always print, my experience is I print a practice set and I print a game set. The practice set, if there's any mistakes throughout the week, we've inserted information wrong in the bands, will be noted throughout the week, and then we'll print a final completed copy for the game on Wednesday or Thursday, so we know that everything in our wristbands is accurate for the week. So we'll print a set of practice and a set of game cards. These are what I call cards. So when this prints out from your printer, you will get this just like this, and these will be the cards. The next thing you will do is you will cut the cards out from the paper. You'll cut these out, and then the next thing you're going to do is place your cards that have been cut out on a lamination sheet. And you want to laminate these cards for a couple of reasons. Number one is it keeps the paper from folding and keeps the print from being non-readable by your players. It also, and this is a key point, will keep any rain, water, sweat, any moisture off of your play cards, which would cause them to run. So you definitely want to laminate these, and there's different types of lamination. The easiest one I've found is to go buy Office Max or any of these stores, Walmart. It's about $100 for a nice laminating machine, and then you buy the packs of lamination sheets. We buy the 3mm, and you put your cards in there. You run them through, just like the directions will show you on the lamination sheets with the pouch. You run them through. It seals them. You cut these out once again from the lamination sheets, and now they're ready to be inserted into the wristband. Now in printing your play cards, one thing that I've found is that there are several different types of wristbands that teams can use. I've used the Cutter brand wristband. However, there's Nike, there's Rawlings, there's all sorts of different types of wristband. So the cards that you print, default size on the program will be approximately 3 by 5 cards, like an index card. To change the size, to reduce the size, there's a couple ways we can do it. Number one is let's change the font size. So if you go up and you highlight, as I'm doing here, your card, and you go up to the font, and by the way, you can pick a different style of font if you want. You could go here and actually pick any of the fonts that are available. And you want to do a different size. So if we had it on, you can see as I can make it larger. When we go down here to 8, I've done it to 6. You can go down as small as you want to go. You can type in 5, hit enter, and you can see this font just reduced to 5. there comes a point in time where the kids have a hard time reading, obviously. The font becomes so small. So about the smallest we'll go is 6. So let me go back and actually make this 6. Enter. Okay, you can see that that adjusted there. Then what we can also do to reduce the size of the bands or change them is pull these columns together. So I've gone up here and I've clicked on the line, the width line, and now I'm just going to hold the left mouse button down and pull the actual column closer. And this is another way that you can reduce the size. Now, if you still find that that is the cards are too large for your particular wristband you're using, you can go into these cells, and as you can see on my cells, these demo cells, just kind of type some different things in here. You can see that some of these have a lot of verbiage. This one here is, quite long. You can go in and reduce your actual verbiage in each cell and use abbreviations and use different types of words and things that'll make those smaller, and then that would allow you then to click on and pull these cells. So pull these columns closer. So you're going to be able to adjust either larger. Larger is very easy. Obviously, you can highlight the font and make the font larger. Go up here, change it to 8. Okay, and then I just pull the cell over so that the color is accurate. Move these cells. So making a cell actually larger is no problem at all. Another thing you can do is highlight the cells on your card, go over here to the top right where it says format, and you can auto fit. So it's going to fit the column and the cells based on the print that you have in there. So you hit auto, it'll automatically make sure that it's formatted to the correct size, and then you can go to width as well. So for what I have in the font size, which is now 7, those cells fit perfectly. If I come down here, highlight this, go over here and go to 6, enter, everything is now 6. Go over here to format, go auto height and auto width. Now those columns are adjusted precisely to the font that you've chosen. That's how you change the size of your play cards before printing. Okay, another thing I want to show you is how to change the color of the font within your columns. Depending on the colors you choose for your formations, some font reads better over certain colors. For example, here in my red column, I have black font. But if I wanted to change that to a white, because the contrast would be easier to identify and read, all I would have to do is highlight the column, go up here to the top where it shows the letter and the color, click on that, choose white or any color that I may want, click on that, and now we have white font in that column. Now as you look down here in the second play card, we have some dark colors. We have black here, so in the black I certainly want white font. Any dark color that you want to print, normally I choose to use white font, and then any light color that I use, I choose black. So you can see yellow over here, I have black. Now if I were to choose, or go over here to choose a different font color of the yellow and choose white, then it's almost, you cannot read it. So that's the reasons for changing the font, or changing the color of the font. Now changing the style of the font is also an option for you, and that's simply done the same way. Highlight the cells, or you can highlight everything by clicking up here in the top left, or you can highlight a certain column of font, and then you can go right over here to the top where we did the size earlier with the number. Now next to it you can choose different types of font. You can scroll through and see which one that you feel is best for you. So that's how you would change the font and the font color of your play cards. Okay, another thing I want to show you is a common mistake that can happen. Each one of these cells are formatted with a formula, and that formula basically fills the information from your master list into that particular cell. And as you can see over here, there's a formula that it refers to do that. So if you were to accidentally delete, and I'll delete cell 25 in the white column, if you were to accidentally delete the information from one cell, it actually would delete that formula as well. So it would no longer refer back to your master list, and you would have a blank, empty cell that had no way to input from your master column or your master list. So if you find yourself if you accidentally have done that, one easy way to restore the correct formula is to go right above the area which you deleted, click on that, and in the right hand corner there will be a little cross. If you take your left click on that little cross, pull that formula down into the deleted cell, it will automatically adjust the formula correctly, release it, and all of a sudden now we have, again, a proper filled cell. So you never want to actually delete anything from the player cards. Where you want to delete things is from the master. If you were to delete something, you would want to do it from the master list, never from a actual play card. However, if you did, again, if I accidentally went in here and said, oh, I didn't like that, I want to get rid of that, and then all of a sudden now I've taken the formula away, now that box no longer works, and I realize that I deleted an actual cell from a play card, simply go to the one that has the formula above it, pull the corner down, and it'll automatically fill in. If I were to take, for example, this whole column and delete it, now I've got a whole column that is no longer referenced to the master list. I simply go to the next one that is filled, I pull it all the way down to the blank ones, and it will automatically pull the formula and adjust it properly. And now once you've changed, and we'll change this one to halfback, once we've changed the bottom to whatever you would like to call your positions, the next thing you want to do is change the header on this sheet so that when you print it, it is the same name. So you're going to go up to the very top, and you are at home, you're going to click on Page Layout. From there, we're going to go over to where it says Headings. It's right here on the right. We're going to go down to Options. We're going to click on Options, and we're going to then go to Header Footer. Okay, now as you can see that this was originally called H wristband. So we're going to go over here to Custom. We're going to change that. So we're going to click Custom, and in the middle where it says H wristband, we are now going to write halfback. Okay, and I'll just put wristband, RB, WB, excuse me. Okay, and hit OK. OK. So now when I go to print, File, Print, you'll notice at the very top it says halfback wristband. I just abbreviated that. So that's how you change the header for each printable sheet. Okay, what I'd like to show you right now is how to construct a practice script. Now these are optional things that the program can do, but some things I found valuable in preparing a script for practice for my staff and for myself, and it's very simple. Basically what I've done here is on the bottom is I have a practice script tab, and the original practice script tab will be the same as your call sheet. Okay, so those will be being pulled from the master as we described before. As I clicked on practice script, what I would like to do for my practice is tag these plays based on the period in practice that day. For example, if period 1 was a 7-on-7 period, we would want to have certain plays that we're going to run during that period. If period 2 was an inside run period, we would have certain plays off our play script that we want to run. So as we go through and we look at our practice schedule for the day, the coordinator, the offensive coordinator, is going to tag the plays or put the plays in order that he's going to call during those periods. And each coach will have a list and will have this sheet printed out for them so they can look and know exactly what's coming up and what plays are going to be run that day. So the way to do that is very simple. I click on practice script, which again is the same as my call script, and then I'm going to go up into column A. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go down where it says insert, and that, as you see, will put a different column in. Then I'm going to go over to D, and I'm going to go insert. So basically what I'm going to do at this point is add columns in front of each of the numbered play numbers. I'll just do the white columns at this point in time. Then I'm going to go through into that column, and I'm going to number this column based on the period of practice. So if play number 1 we were going to run in period 1, I would put a 1 next to it. If play number 2 we were going to run in period 3, I'd put a 3 next to it. And you can see it, period 4, period 2, period 2,
period 1, and I would go down and complete this. 3, period 6, period 6, period 4. And I would just take these plays for the day that we're going to run in those periods. And then what you're going to do, once you've filled in these boxes, what you're going to do is you're going to go up, you're going to highlight the column that it refers to. You're going to go up to the right where it says sort, and you're going to go custom sort. At that point in time, you're going to pick the column, which this happens to be A, and hit OK. And now, as you can see, it has rearranged my call sheet to the periods. So period 1, we have place 1, place 6. Period 2, we have play 4, play 5. Period 3, we have play 2, play 7. Period 4, we have 3 and 10. And period 6, don't know why I skipped 5, but period 6, we have 8 and 9. So that's going to rearrange your practice script. Now I do the same for D. So over here in D, if I said play 21 is going to be period 1, we're not going to run play 22 today. Well, period 1 is going to be 23. Period 5 is going to be 24. Period 5 is going to be 25. Period 4 is going to be 26. Period 1 for 27. And I've tagged these. Now I'm going to highlight D in the column that it refers to. Go up to sort. Go up to custom sort. I'm going to pick column D under sort by. Column D. OK. And now, again, period 1 is at top. Period 4, period 5, and now it has rearranged the call sheet based on the periods that we will be calling those plays in. Then once my play sheet was done, I would go up to File, I would hit Print, how many coaches I need, and at that point in time, the call sheet would be printed based on today's practice. Now, one thing when you're printing a call sheet, one thing that depending on how large your call sheet is, one thing you may want to do is go change the orientation. So instead of portrait, you may want to go landscape, and that will widen it. And then we want to do the same thing we did with our cards, which is we will either have we will have to reduce the size of our call sheet to fit on one sheet, or we would have white, red, and yellow on one side, and then flip it over and go the other colors on the other side. It's up to you how you do that. But when you're printing a call sheet, one of the things you want to do is go down and change the orientation on your print to landscape, and that will give you more width and a better orientation for that. And that's how you present and make a practice script using the software. Okay, now I'd like to show you how to construct a play script. As you see from the screen here, we have our original call sheet on the screen here, and what we've done here is we have inserted these columns called period columns. And what the period column will do is allow you to tag a play based on your practice period. So if period 1 was a 7-on-7 period, then you'd want to tag some pass plays that you were going to run that day. If period 2 was an inside run, then you would tag the inside run plays that you would like to run in period 2 by putting the number 2 in the period. So bottom line is we're going to go through our list here, and we're going to assign numbers to these plays by the period. So let's say period 1 for us was a passing period, a 7-on-7 period. So I would put period 1, period 1, period 1, and then I want to run 408, period 1, and I want to run 5, period 1. And let's say in this same column we want to run period 2 is a run period. So we're going to run gap read on period 2, we're going to run power in period 2, we're going to run fly on period 2, we're going to run period 3 is going to be a sweep period, so we're going to assign this play to period 3, and in that column, that is the periods that we're going to run today. Those are the plays we're going to run, and specified what period we're going to run them. So in order to sort those in a call list, I'm going to go up and I'm going to highlight the period column header. I'm going to pull over through that column, column 1, and I'm going to highlight all the way down. I'm then going to go over to the sort header, and I'm going to go to custom sort. And one thing you want to make sure here, anytime whether you're in practice script or game script, anytime you are sorting, you want to make sure that this box right here that says my data has headers is clicked. You don't want it empty like this. You want to make sure that it is checked
and that'll keep your headers straight and not allow them to be moved around by the sorting process. So as soon as I hit OK, I'm going to sort by the period. It now has taken my call sheet and put period 1. There's white 1, white 2, white 3, white 6, white 10. Those are the plays in that column we're going to run in period 1, and we'll run them in that order. And then period 2, we're going to run white 14, white 15, white 16, and period 3, we're going to run white 13. So as you can see, your call list has now been changed and sorted based on your practice period. Once you've done this for every column or the columns you're going to use for that day, you will then go up to the file, hit print. You're going to print those for the coaches. And remember, when we print the call sheets, we want to orientate towards a landscape orientation. And again, we can make this smaller on our original sheet like I showed you before by reducing the columns, reducing the font, or you can print 2 sheets out and go back to back for your call sheets. But when you print this out, this is now going to print a call sheet out based on the period, your practice period, that's aligned with your practice periods for each of your coaches, and so that all practice scripts are already automatically done. And this is a great way to prepare a practice script for you and your staff using the EZCall system software. Okay, so once we print the sheets, you've made your play cards online or using the software, the EZCall software. Now you're ready to print. We've printed off several copies of each position, each player position in your call sheets. Now you're ready to laminate these sheets and place them in the actual wristbands. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take those sheets out, paper out, and we're going to cut those into their actual cards. Okay, so these would be the result of cutting the boxes or the cards off of the paper. Then these pieces of paper are going to be placed in a laminating sheet. Once they go through the laminating process, then they become, and remember I told you to use the 3mm, that works the best. Now they become a laminated card. The laminated card is what you will now place into the window of your playband. So as I take, this has 3, we're going to show you how to do 2 today. If you had 3, obviously you would put the 3rd there. So we're going to insert the laminated card into the window. And now the beautiful thing about that is now it's not going to wrinkle to where you can't read it. It's going to keep its form. It's also not going to be affected by any type of moisture, which is a huge key. The next one we're going to put in on the back side of the window. And if we had a 3rd, we'd slide it in here. So the player then is going to wear the wristband on his wrist, or one of the places players like to do it as well is on their game pant belt. But on the wrist, we call a play. The player, we call white 1. The player looks at white 1. He knows his assignment. It tells us right there in the cell. It shows, we know from our practice and from what we've installed that white is a particular formation, and we also know the snap count. If we were to call a play that we're not on the front here, a color, we would open up the band. Here we have brown. We call brown 4. We look in the brown column, cell 4, gives us our assignment. We know again the formation, the snap count, our assignment, close the band, and we're ready to go. It's that fast, that efficient, and the EZCall system, once we get it from computer onto the band, is the best thing in coaching and the best thing I've done in 20 years.